Yo, YouTube, what's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Q, back at y'all with another video, man. If y'all are new to the channel, y'all know what to do, man. Hit that like button, that subscribe. Y'all know the vibes, man. So Pat Riley had his press conference, I believe, on Friday, and he had a lot of interesting things to say, man. And I'm just here to break it all down for y'all. You know, uh, the Miami Heat right now, after the way the season ended, you know, against the Cleveland Cavaliers in the playoffs, losing game three by 35 points.
Got to keep playing. That's what we're paid to do, and that's who we are as an organization. We want to compete, and we're not going out 4-0.
Points, and then turning around and embarrassing yourselves and getting blown out on your home court by 55. It's crazy to think that everybody in the building still has their job. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the way the Jimmy Butler thing unraveled, towards the trade deadline, Jimmy wanting out, Jimmy missing practice, Jimmy getting suspended, all types of dumb.
What do I want to see happen? I want to see me get my joy back from playing basketball, and wherever that may be, we'll find out here pretty soon. But I want to joy back. I'm happy here, off the court, but I want to be back to somewhat dominant. I want to hoop, and I want to help this team win. Right now, I'm not doing that.
Can you get your joy back here on the court?
Probably not.
Wanting out, Jimmy missing practice, Jimmy getting suspended, all types of dumb shit, and the Miami Heat this offseason, man, it's going to be very interesting to see what they do, uh, they don't necessarily have a lot of options right now as far as like free agents are concerned, but based off of what I heard from Pat Riley in the press conference, I do believe that there is a star player out there that is in play for the Miami Heat this offseason, and I'm just going to come out and say it. I think it's Kevin Durant, man. I do believe that the Miami Heat are going to pursue Kevin Durant very heavily this offseason. Pat Riley was asked by some reporters asking if he, at this juncture of his career, would he be willing to manage an older star player now, and, we know that Pat Riley has been trying to get Kevin Durant for like the last 10 years now, when he left OKC the first time to go to Golden State, he's been trying to trade for KD, and based off of the way things are going in Phoenix right now, them missing the playoffs, and it's just being a hot ass mess over there with the Bradley Beal contract and all that. I do believe that the Phoenix Suns will move Kevin Durant this offseason just to get some more assets back, and I do believe that the Miami Heat are in perfect position to land a trade for Kevin Durant, Um, this season, the debacle that was the Miami Heat, as much as I love Pat Riley, I have to kind of put the blame on him here. And I'm going to tell you guys why. The reason why I blame Pat Riley for the way that the season transpired this season, as far as with the Jimmy Butler situation and all that, I do believe that Pat Riley did play a hand in it. So Pat Riley had some comments to say, after Jimmy Butler was trolling the Celtics when he wasn't playing.
For him to say that, I thought, is that Jimmy trolling or is that Jimmy serious? If you're not on the court playing against Boston or on the court playing against the New York Knicks, you should keep your mouth shut in your criticism of those teams.
Miami Heat, he told him to keep his mouth shut, which I kind of applaud Pat Riley because he kind of stood on business. He said he wasn't apologizing, although he appreciated everything that Jimmy Butler did for the Miami Heat, which is deservedly so. Jimmy Butler was with the Miami Heat for only a few seasons, and he's going down as like a top 3 Miami Heat player of all time. So he accomplished a lot with just a small amount of time that he was with us, going to the championship in the bubble, going to the NBA Finals like 2 years ago and going on that historic run with a bunch of C minus players like Gabe fucking Vincent. So Jimmy Butler has done a lot for the Miami Heat, and I thank him for everything that he's done. You know, even though everything transpired the way it did, I just feel like ever since we missed out on Damian Lillard and we missed out on star players in the past, I just think that the writing was on the wall. The writing was on the wall for sure. Jimmy Butler is not on the same timeline as Tyler and Bam are at this moment in time, and that's the reason why he wanted out. With all that being said, though, Pat Riley, man, mismanaged the entire situation based off of not trading Jimmy Butler a lot sooner. I feel like if he would have traded Jimmy Butler maybe, before training camp started or before the start of the season, you probably would have been able to get back a much better package for Jimmy Butler. That's number one. And number two, you avoid his drama and his BS lingering on the team. Because let's just be honest, man. When the Miami Heat first got Jimmy Butler, they knew what they were getting themselves into. I'm pretty sure they did their homework, they did their due diligence, and they did their research. And history shows that when Jimmy Butler is unhappy, he's gonna find his way out of a situation. He did that. He did it in Minnesota, and he did it in Philly. So Pat Riley should have been on top of this, man, and that's where he lost me. Pat Riley really should have been on top of that trade from the jump, but instead we get back Andrew Wiggins. The dude looked like he didn't even want to be on the court with the Miami Heat. He doesn't even look like he fits in Miami. Like, I don't even think Miami is a city for Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins looks like a fucking bagel with no cream cheese on it. He's just plain dry, dull. He look like somebody's uncle, man. He got no drip, no swag, no nothing. He does not belong in Miami, and he does not belong on this team. He had a horrible playoff series against the Cleveland Cavaliers. He was an absolute no-show. And to be honest with you, bro, I want him off my team, you know. But Pat Riley was asked about Jimmy. He had great things to say about him, for sure. But yeah, man. Miami Heat, man, they have to go and pursue KD this offseason, because if they don't end up getting Kevin Durant, via trade, and I'm gonna tell you guys what I feel like what it would take to get Kevin Durant in a trade for the Miami Heat. I think the only thing it will probably take is maybe this year's first round pick, which I think is supposed to be the 20th pick of the draft. Maybe a pick in the future, like I want to say like 2030. Maybe a Duncan Robinson, a Terry Rozier, or a Jovic or somebody like that. And boom, I feel like that should be more than enough to get Kevin Durant, on the Miami Heat. And then you would have Davion Mitchell, who I love. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with Davion heavy. He's been putting in work ever since he got with the Miami Heat. You would have Tyler at the 2. You would have KD at the 3. You would have Bam at the 4, and you would have Khalil Ware at the 5. You know what I'm saying? I do feel like I'm not going to sit here and say that that's a championship team, but I really do feel like a team with KD, Ware, Bam, and Tyler, that's definitely a top 4 seeded team right there in the East. And honestly, bro, I really don't care if the Miami Heat don't win a championship the next 3 seasons. I just want the Miami Heat to be a competitive team. We've been a playoff team for the last 2 seasons, and I'm getting tired of being stuck in mediocrity, man. We're a mediocre basketball team, But, and I do believe 70%. I do believe that there's a 70% chance that the Miami Heat do acquire Kevin Durant this offseason, and that's just me being optimistic, because the Miami Heat have been known to miss out on star players in the past, i.e. Damian Lillard, i.e. Donovan Mitchell, who just had 43 points last game that he played against the Indiana Pacers, and he's been going crazy the entire playoffs. Yeah. So I do believe that there's 2 options that, the 2 routes that the Miami Heat can take, if they don't get Kevin Durant this offseason, which I highly doubt. I really do believe Kevin Durant's going to be on the Miami Heat when it's all said and done, But there's two avenues, man. You could one blow the whole thing up, and I don't think that any Miami Heat fan is wanting to do that, you know, because let's be for real, Bam is very, very heavily respected around the league, and I just know that in order for you as a franchise to get other star players to want to play for your team, you have to have other players on the team that guys look up to, that guys respect. And Bam played in the Olympics with KD. Him and KD are very close, and those are the types of relationships that you want to keep around if you want to, attract star players to your team. Because let's be for real, bro. Minus the team right now, the only thing Miami really has to offer anybody is, a tourist attraction. You got Miami, beautiful women everywhere. KD's getting up there in age now, so he's on the tail end of his career. So retiring in Miami probably wouldn't be a bad thing for him. Stuff, just little stuff like that. But blowing the whole thing up would mean trading Tyler Hero, and I think that I think with Tyler Hero making an All-Star appearance this season, I believe that his trade value is at its highest right now. He didn't get injured last season, really. He was healthy majority of the season. He had an amazing season. Let's just be honest. He had an amazing season, and his trade value is pretty high right now. I do believe that if the Miami Heat were to blow things up, hypothetically speaking, and they traded Tyler Hero, they could probably get 2 first-round picks for Tyler. You could probably get 4 first-round picks for Bam. With all that being said, though, that's just plan D, plan C. I don't even want to think about that because I really do love Tyler Hero. I love Bam Adebayo. I don't want to see those guys go, But if we can't put another piece around these guys to help them be competitive in the Eastern Conference and we're stuck in the play-in every year, then something's got to give. The second option I feel like that the Miami Heat have, which I feel like it's more likely if they don't get Kevin Durant, would probably be making marginal changes to the roster, like trading Andrew Wiggins away and getting back a player that wants to be in Miami, bringing Alec Burks back. You obviously have to bring back Mitchell. Just marginal changes to the roster. Will probably be a mediocre team again. If that's the case, we'll be another mediocre franchise team. We'll probably end up in the play-in again or just miss the playoffs entirely, and then just wait for the 2026 free agents, But I don't want to do that, I truly do believe that Miami has to get Kevin Durant this offseason. I just think it makes total sense, After every other year before this, I would look at it like a pipe dream, but I do think that it's more likely now than it ever has been. And I do believe that Pat Riley needs to make the move. Okay? You would still be able to keep Bam. You would still be able to keep Tyler. Okay? With all that being said, though, man, thank you guys for checking out the channel. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully Miami Heat, I said the franchise. Hopefully the Miami Heat front office can lock in this offseason and make some moves, man. That's going to excite the team. That's going to excite the fan base again, because right now we just as dry as Andrew Wiggins drip. You know what I'm saying? So we need some excitement, man, in the building. Go get Kevin Durant. Go get your whale. Okay, so we can try to contend for another title before Pat Riley really ends up retiring. The man is 80 years old, man. Okay, we don't know how much longer he has left. All right, if we're gonna strike, we gotta strike while the iron is hot. All right, but with all that being said, man, thank y'all for checking out the channel. Leave a comment, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good shit, and let me know what y'all think about KD to Miami. Is it a pipe dream, or is it something that's very, very possible? And do you guys believe that Kevin Durant would be able to put the Miami Heat over the top? Y'all let me know in the comments, man. I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Peace.